The hallway fell silent the moment the new cadet hit the floor. Boots scraped, a gasp sharp enough to cut the air followed, and every soldier nearby froze. The ones who had knocked her down stood over her with smug confidence, unaware that the quiet girl they mocked carried a title feared in martial arts circles around the world. They had no idea that the cadet they kicked held the rank of black belt world champion. What city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Aria Hale. She had arrived at Fort Brimber 2 days earlier with a single duffel bag, a calm expression, and a silence that made some uneasy. While the other rookies introduced themselves with loud stories and exaggerated humor, she spoke only when needed. When she did, her voice carried a steady confidence that few noticed. Aria chose the back corner of the barracks, tucked her belongings away, and kept to herself. She woke early, trained alone, and moved with a grace that seemed almost unmilitary. A few noticed her discipline, but most mistook her quiet nature for weakness. Rumors spread quickly about the new girl who refused to join late night card games or lunchtime gossip. Soldiers whispered that she was timid or fragile. A few joked that she looked more like a librarian than a future soldier. Aria ignored it. She had faced far worse than words. Still, the tension grew around her silence. Some felt she was hiding something. Others believed they could push her without consequence. They were wrong. On the fourth morning of training, the rookies were ordered to complete a timed march across the base to the combat halls. Aria walked in the middle of the formation, keeping pace without struggling. Sweat formed on the brows of many around her, but she remained calm, breathing with the steady rhythm of a trained fighter. 2 soldiers in her platoon, Carter and Briggs, had taken particular interest in her quiet demeanor. They mocked her during breaks and tested her patience with petty comments. She never reacted. Her silence irritated them more than any argument ever could. When the march ended, the platoon returned to the main building. The hallway was narrow, crowded, and impatient. Carter shoved a few soldiers aside as he walked, laughing at the tension he created. Briggs followed, loud and arrogant. Aria moved to one side, giving them space. She had no desire for trouble. She carried her towel and training gloves, focused on the sparring session ahead. Carter saw her step aside and grinned at Briggs. So quiet. Always hiding in the back, he said. Briggs nodded. Maybe she is scared of a little push. Before Aria could turn, Carter kicked the back of her calf. She lost her balance and fell to one knee. The hallway erupted with whispers. Some stepped back, unsure whether to intervene. Others looked away, unwilling to challenge Carter and Briggs. Briggs stepped forward and tapped her duffel bag with his boot. If you want to be here, act like a soldier. Aria rose calmly. Her face remained neutral. She looked at them with stillness rather than anger. That stillness unsettled Carter more than any threat would have, but Aria said nothing. She simply walked past them. The 2 bullies laughed loudly, proud of the attention they had gathered. To them, this was a victory. To Aria, it was a reminder that patience had limits. Later that afternoon, the platoon gathered in the combat hall for mandatory sparring assessments. Each cadet was paired at random. Aria stood near the back, fastening her gloves. She tightened them with deliberate care. The instructor entered, stern and observant. Today we evaluate control, discipline, and technique. Respect your opponent. Anything less will result in removal from the floor. Most soldiers nodded. Carter and Briggs exchanged wicked smiles. When pairs were announced, the instructor stopped at Aria's name. Cadet Halley will spar with Cadet Briggs. The room shifted with excitement. Whispers spread again. Some thought Aria would be crushed. Others secretly hoped Briggs would finally be humbled. Briggs walked forward with a grin that stretched too wide. Try not to cry, he said. Aria bowed slightly as protocol required. Briggs did not return it. The match began. Briggs rushed forward, throwing a wild jab. Aria stepped aside with effortless precision. No panic, no hesitation. She caught his arm with a controlled movement and redirected him past her. He stumbled but did not fall. The room murmured. Briggs attacked again. Faster, angrier. Arya deflected each strike with fluid technique. She stayed calm, breathing softly. Her footwork was flawless. Her timing exact. Frustrated, Briggs swung a heavy hook meant to intimidate. Arya blocked it, then delivered a clean strike to his chest, sending him backward onto the mat. Gasps echoed across the hall. She stepped back, offering him a chance to stand. Briggs climbed up with growing rage. "Keep fighting," Arya said softly. He charged again, this time with reckless aggression. Arya moved like someone who had spent years mastering not only the art of fighting, but the art of restraint. She landed a clean kick to his midsection, controlling her force so she would not injure him. Briggs fell again, wheezing. Carter watched from the corner, his confidence melting away. Briggs attempted to rise, but the instructor stepped in, raising a hand. "Enough." Cadet Halle wins by technical superiority. Briggs sat on the mat, stunned. The instructor turned to the group. "Cadet Halle, step forward." Arya obeyed. "I reviewed your file this morning," the instructor said. "You did not list your competition history because the form did not ask for awards. However, it is important your platoon understands who they are training beside." He faced the entire hall. Cadet Arya Halle is a 3-time international martial arts champion and a former world title holder. Her rank is Black Belt 5th Dan. She joined this program not for glory, but for service. The room fell into deep silence. Every soldier stared at her with new eyes. Briggs lowered his head. Carter felt the weight of his actions pressed down on his chest. Arya simply stood still. After sparring ended, the instructor asked the cadets to gather in a circle. "Strength is not measured by volume or aggression," he said. "Some of the most powerful people you will ever meet speak quietly because they have nothing to prove." Cadet Halle is an example of that. Those who mocked her today must reflect on their behavior. He dismissed everyone except Arya and the 2 bullies. Carter stepped forward first. "I misjudged you," he said. "I was wrong." Briggs nodded with visible shame. Arya met their eyes with calm sincerity. "I did not come here to embarrass anyone. I came to learn and to serve. What happened today stays on the mat, but I hope you understand that respect must lead every step we take." Her words carried no anger, only truth. The instructor placed a firm hand on Carter's shoulder. "Apologize not because you were caught, but because you want to be better." Carter nodded. "I am sorry, Halle." Briggs repeated the apology, quieter but sincere. Arya accepted both. Over the next weeks, the dynamics of the platoon changed. Soldiers who once avoided Arya now approached her with genuine respect. Carter and Briggs became quieter, not out of fear, but out of humility. They watched her train and realized that greatness is often wrapped in silence. Arya never boasted about her championships. She trained as if she had everything left to learn. Her discipline influenced the entire group. Rookies who once mocked her now asked for guidance. She helped them without judgment. The hallway where she had been kicked became a quiet reminder of how quickly assumptions can crumble. Arya replaced old tension with strength built from patience and dignity. One evening, as the sun set behind the barracks, Carter approached her during a training session. "Why did you join the military?" he asked. Arya finished her combination and looked at him. "Because medals fade," she said. "But helping others never loses value." Her answer stayed with him long after he walked away. The platoon grew stronger with her influence. Not because she dominated them, but because she taught them what true strength looks like. Calm, steady, controlled, powerful without needing to prove it. Arya Halle had arrived as a quiet mystery. She became the standard everyone else followed. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.